Yo people, big up Bad Mind TV, you don't know. Boy, big up my likers, big up my subscribers, big up my members, big up all the new subscribers that are subbing up my channel. Big up still, you get me? It's appreciated. Yo, this one here is a deep one still, you know. It's deep still, you get me? So, you know, it's a hard one to explain, you know, but I believe I've been doing this long enough now to know how to deliver my content, you understand? But yeah, so I'm gonna show you a video as I usually do, and then we'll start to run commentary from there, you get me? So big up the people them, stay tuned, yeah, cause this one's it's a deep one, it's an important one still. So let's start, let's go. Yo people, you see that there? That's a short little a clip of something that happened in Birmingham. Everybody knows what I'm on about, you get me? And a man got 22 years for that. Now, since that case, yeah, I've been kind of hoping that that there was no that the brother who got sentenced, yeah, would only get done for possession of the firearm. And the reason why is that due to what you see in the video, I would class that as self-defense. And you should only get really done for manage to get a firearm to do what happened. It's self-defense. What you can see in the video is the person who was unalived, yeah, running down into like an alleyway, clutching something in his hand, what he had to hold with two hands. Why for that? Yeah, clutching a machine with two hands. Anything you have to hold with two hands, it kicks. It kick. Yeah. When I say kick, you know, is when it fire, you know, you can feel it in your hand. Like it might bounce out your hand if you did it with one hand, or you know, it's better to hold it with two for support, yeah? So you know, you're holding it with two hands, yeah? So that's not no lickle. That's not no lickle, yeah? Now, the man, Theo, yeah, was at work. Got a family business, yeah? Now, I go to that same industrial estate. I go there, yeah? So, in the past, I may have seen him there doing his work. I may have been to ask about my car, things I need doing, any little bit of body work or whatnot, yeah? Working people. I never knew Theo in any kind of street behavior, yeah? When I knew him, it was to do with the business that he works at, that he runs, yeah? And to tell you the truth, yeah, I can't stand the UK for that, you know. Because it's like we can't protect us. When I speak to Americans online, they always say, "Oh, you lot have got no you can't protect yourselves without getting in trouble." Yeah, and the fact that he's been given 22 years for self-defense, as literally, it's kind of something there, because I think anybody would have protected themselves in that situation. Yeah, in the proper video, the full length, you see that. There was a visit beforehand, yeah? Little argument, rare. So obviously, Then there's been a revisit. The revisits when you see come with the with the yeah. And for me, I just can't. I can't just work out how 22 years. Now, alright, he didn't get a life sentence. So out of that, he'll probably serve 12, 13 years with good behaviour. Yeah. He's a man who will always most likely seen with his family. You understand me? Seen around his family. That's how I know him. Yeah. Not saying that other people might know him in a different corner, but the corner I saw him in, yeah, he was working and with his family. That's all I ever seen that man there in that kind of circle still. Yeah. Now, the reason why it can never be treated as nothing else. I don't know if anybody else remembers in Birmingham here. In 2000 and I think it was 02, 03, there was a shooting on Six Ways Island, yeah, Aston, like bottom of Lozells. And in that shooting, one man must have got bun in his hand, and the other man picked up corn in his face, and that was finished. You're supposed to know the name, yeah. And the man who got done for that only got 5 years, you know, for the possession of the weapon. And how it works is, he said that his brother was trapped in a barber shop, yeah, and rang him and says, "Yo, listen, they got me trapped. They think they're gonna dopey me." And he's ran up there and blam and licked two man, one unalive, and the other one just got superficial injury in his hand. And he only got 5 years for that. Yeah? He only got 5 years. Yeah? Can you imagine that? 5 years. Just for the possession. They only did him for the possession of the weapon. Now, years later now, we got a similar type situation where it would be classed as a self-defense thing. And the man got 22. I can't believe it, you know. Listen, if anyone out there is his family and they watch this, yeah, can you tell him to go for an appeal on the sentence, yeah? He needs to appeal it. I think they've given that much to make the public feel that they're doing something. That can be reduced, yeah? That can be. There's other man who bond man, and they didn't even unalive nobody, yeah? And they got their sentence reduced, yeah? There's a rapper got his sentence reduced, yeah? After burning somebody, yeah? Yeah? So we know that people can get their sentence reduced, yeah? Try not to go into too much detail. And R.I.P. to the victim, to the unalived. R.I.P. to the unalived, yeah? Because the funny thing is, it's another case where I've known the unaliver and the supposed victim. I've known both, yeah? So this is what I'm talking about. I know both people. You understand what I'm saying to you? Me know the two of them. So what I'm saying is, imagine you put yourself in that situation. You're at work. You've had someone come to talk to you and say, "Yo, listen, XYZ, yeah, XYZ. I'm interested in this, and probably, yo, listen, me not here." You've managed to have a little debate, and it kind of like the person says, "You know something, star, I'm gonna come back in a bit, you know." Still, they say within 30 minutes, whoosh, yeah, and then you see that image running down the alleyway towards you. The first thing that's going to happen is your arse is going to fall out. Yeah, that's what's initially going to happen. Most people's arse would fall out, because that's like, oh, they're coming for you. You've already spoke to them. It's not like it's random. You might think it's for someone else. You know it's for you, the person's coming back for. And for me to feel that any which way the self-defense was, yeah, any which way, I feel the person's thing was governed. That was governed. It was governed for you to defend yourself against what was coming. I'm not saying that I am what could you say, celebrating what's happening. You know, I'm clearly saying that if you're greeted in life with that kind of scenario, can't you defend yourself? Huh? It's obvious what the person's intentions are when you see them run towards you with two hands on the bucky, yeah? So obviously, you're now in a stage where you're supposed to be able to defend yourself, and that's what I can't stand with the UK. It doesn't allow us as the British people to defend ourselves. Yeah. Now remember this. They've slated the they've put the unalived. Yeah. They've said that he was a gang member. I didn't know him as no gang member. He never ever said that to me. In fact, he said to me in a conversation that he no rep no gang. He ma independent in a this. He's not under no umbrellas. He no business about nobody using no gangs. You know that. He told me that. Yeah? So, when I'm seeing them painting people down to certain things, to certain gang members, they didn't say that about the Theo though, did they? They didn't say that Theo was a gang member. They said he was a working man at his garage, at his business. So that should season it even more to make him the actual victim in this. He should be classed as a victim because he was at work, contributing and paying taxes. Remember, he's a taxpayer. He's a taxpayer. You can't have a garage like that and you don't pay tax. Yeah? So I'm looking, I'm saying, yo, like, what's all this? Like, what is this? Like, how is life gone to where, a man can be defending himself and end up in a situation where you're done for attempt murder? And then I also was thinking, wasn't there two people that picked up that day? I'm sure there was another man that picked up. Yeah. So if there was another man that picked up, wouldn't that be two? Wouldn't that be that would be attempted murder times two, innit? Because obviously there's two people that sustained injury basically. So what happened to that man who picked up and still that they carried to the hospital? What happened to him? You understand me? What happened? Like, I can't understand this, man. It's kind of done my head in, to be fair, you know. It's rather done my head in. It's done my head in still, because it's like we can't think it. The wrong thing's been given. I think the wrong charge has been put on this case. I think the wrong charge has been put on it, and I think it didn't go the way it should have went in the past. Yeah, so he needs to appeal his sentence. Theo, you need to appeal your bird based on your circumstance and based on the evidence what was produced. Yes, you did say to them, change certain things like the camera. You told Nico, they say you tried to pervert the cause of justice, but you was in shock. I believe that you may have been in shock, or with what was happening, you might have, as anybody would, felt a little bit like, yo, what's gonna happen? What's going on? What do I say? Yeah. Now, I can't say what I would have done because I just don't think that's fair to the unalived. I would have said, if it was because I know the two of them, I think it's unfair for me to say what I would have done in that case. Yeah, so I'm not going to do that because it might be seen as insensitive. Yeah, but I would say, yeah, that I feel like at the end of the day, how can a man get done for 22 years for defending himself? And that's what the kind of country that we live in. This is the kind of country that we live in, where you can get sentenced for just protecting yourself and your people. Yeah? And why? I don't know, man. I just don't know. And, they never labelled the man who's been sentenced, yeah, as a gang member. He's working class. That's what was presented by the people them. So if you're working class, why are you being done? If that was a person of another culture, would they have got 22 years? And the victim was a BLK man, and he was a man like me. Yeah, if he's a man that like me and he done that, and it was something like Mr. Singer or something like that, would he have got that bird? Yeah, would that have happened? It's a wicked, wicked place, It's a wicked, wicked place. That's what my ghetto's like, That is the ghetto what I come from. That's what it's like. Yeah? And it seems like if you're not about that, yeah, then you're just going to spend your whole life being a victim of something there. Unless you're a man who's willing to do that. Then you do that now, you've been took from your kids, your family, your work. You know what I'm saying to you? It's bigger than it looks. Yeah? It's bigger than it looks, man. And I'm just fed up of the way we're treated when we want to defend ourselves. I think we're one of the only countries, where you have to still explain and still thingy. At the end of the day, you can see the evidence on the camera. So why is it being done for yeah, all right, it's manslaughter has been done for. So it's not. I'll keep having to remember that it's not the M word murder. It's manslaughter. But 22 years for manslaughter is very high. It's very high. So you usually get 12. Then all right, they say they give him 12 for that, and then 5 for the machine. 12, 13. That's 17 years. So say they gave him 7 for the machine. That would have been 19. Alright then. So you know what? It kind of sounds roughly kind of about right. Because you've been done for the something there and the possession of the machine. Yeah, alright, cool. It kind of can semi add up still if you're doing the two of them together. Now, if they ran the machine concurrent to the manslaughter, which should happen, what he needs to do is appeal. Yeah, to the family or the people. Them, Theo needs to appeal on the that they didn't run the possession of the item, that part of it, yeah, concurrently with the main sentence for the manslaughter. I think he's been sentenced for. They've merged the two of them together as in to say you've been sentenced for one and sentenced for the other, because it's still very high level considering he was at work, yeah. So he definitely needs to appeal. That's what this is for me. I'm sending it out that he needs to appeal no matter what. I wouldn't sit down in there and not appeal, because I'm gonna think, oh, I have 22 years. I was just defending myself and I was at work. That's the biggest thing for him. If he was anywhere else, if he wasn't at work, it would have been a next level thing. You would be talking 30 odds, yeah. And it would have been the L plate, yeah. So by fortune, he was at work, yeah. The only thing I can say is that, to tell you the truth, you phoned them and it didn't help you. You phoned them and it never helped you. I don't see if that really helped him, to be fair. I don't think the phone call when you phoned them helped you at all. I think you should have done what everyone else done and just cut about your business, yeah. Lock up your business and cut, yeah. And whatever from there, and then it would have been whatever. Somebody would have had to grass on you and say, nah, it was him. Yeah? I think that would have been the best thing you could have done. I think the phone call, you was trying to be strict and correct. Yeah? And then it hasn't worked. It didn't work for you. Yeah? It just gave them to know who it was then straight away, kind of thing, or who knows about it. Yeah? That's what I think. But yeah, that's just my view on that still. It's a bit of a sensitive subject, but I couldn't not say nothing when I believe that if I was in that situation, yeah, if I was presented with that situation, what we saw there, I'd be defending myself, yeah. Big up on yourself. Bad Mind TV, one order, and R.I.P. to the unalived, yeah. R.I.P. to Gavin Parry. Me not even say your nickname. Me gonna say your name, your government name. R.I.P. to Gavin Parry. Big up yourself. One order. Bad Mind TV.